Happy Monday, you Minties. This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and join me today as I take an advanced look at the Cloak and Dagger Omnibus from Marvel Comics. So please stay tuned. And welcome back, all you Minties. Now, before I get started, I want to give a huge shout out to David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending me an advanced copy of this omnibus. This omnibus was originally supposed to be scheduled to come out on May 15th, so this is something to keep in mind. I got this from Marvel about a week or so before the whole pandemic and the shutdown and everything that's going on. So that date may change depending on when Diamond decides to release it, but it was originally supposed to be May 15th. So don't be surprised if it comes out later. And one more thing I'm going to add is that during a crisis, there are no advanced copies that are shipped out. So this is going to be my last Marvel Advance view of a book until things get back to whatever normal is going to be. However, I put out videos every day, and please come back to the channel if you are a first-time watcher, and if you're not, you already know I put out videos every day. This is the direct market cover. The standard edition cover, right here, will be available everywhere like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and places like that. The direct market cover, this one here, will only be available at comic book stores or places like cheapgraphicnovels.com, Tales of Wonder, and in-stock trades. Let's look at it under the dust jacket. I love that Marvel has been doing this. So, regardless of which cover you get, they are both under the dust jacket, and that's awesome. There's the Cloak and Dagger spine. The retail of the book is $100. Now, let's get it opened. Wait. Before we go any further, just rest assured, we're going back to the original curved spines, not the flat spines that you saw in Wolverine or Black Widow or the JMS Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2. So, there you go. Now you can keep watching without any worries. So, let's get this book opened. Cloak and Dagger, created by Bill Mantlo and Ed Hannigan. Here's all the credits right here. And, of course, all the wonderful folks that put it together, like Jennifer Grunwald, Maya Loy, Caitlin O'Connell, Jeff Youngquist, Mark Beasley. All these names you're probably familiar with whenever I do these videos. But in case you're not, that is the team that made this omnibus happen. Here is your table of contents. And we're kicking it off with Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 64, the very first appearance of Cloak and Dagger. So, of course, like I mentioned, Bill Mantlo and Hannigan created these characters. So, what is the contents of this book? We have a lot of Spectacular Spider-Man. So, we have their first appearance with issue 64, and because they were so popular, we have a lot more of their appearances before they got their own miniseries. So we have Spectacular Spider-Man 69 through 70, 81 and 82, 94 through 96, and then we have the Cloak and Dagger miniseries 1 through 4, Marvel Team Up Annual number 6, that's the one with Spider-Man and the New Mutants, I believe. Marvel Fanfare number 19, New Mutants 23 to 25. I'm excited because that's the first time we've had those collected in omnibus format, and they will be collected in the New Mutants omnibus later on this year. And then we have the ongoing Cloak and Dagger series 1 through 11, and Doctor Strange 78, Marvel graphic novel Cloak and Dagger Power Pack. That's the Shelter from the Storm, I think is what it's called. And then material from Strange Tales 1 and 2. Strange Tales, and before I go any further, I need to stop here, but Strange Tales is what took over the Cloak and Dagger ongoing series. So as of issue 11, they kind of combined the series with Doctor Strange to make Strange Tales. So let's talk about the miniseries. Because these characters were really popular in the Spectacular Spider-Man run, Marvel decided to give them their own little miniseries. I think this was in 1982, 1983. But what stuck out to me in this miniseries, and I love Bill Mantlo. I mean, this is the guy that had a phenomenal run on Incredible Hulk, created Rocket Raccoon. Come on. Rom, who's not a fan of Rom, that was a kid of the 80s. But what stuck out to me was this amazing artwork from Rick Leonardi. And this is the first time I saw Rick Leonardi's artwork as a kid. And, of course, that's helped by the beautiful inks of Terry Austin. And whose artwork can't Terry Austin make look so much better? I believe, and I'll talk a little bit when I get there, the entire reason, and yes, I know that there were guest stars in issues of New Mutants, but the entire reason I ever checked out this series as a kid was because of Arthur Adams. Arthur Adams has a fill-in issue. I want to say it's like issue 8 and 9 of the ongoing series. That is inked by Terry Austin, and the amount of details in there, oh my gosh, it is freaking phenomenal. That was before I saw their stuff together in the Asgardian War stuff from the annuals. So that was my first taste of both of them working together. Mike Mignola actually has an issue in here too. Can't remember if that's before or after Arthur Adams. But I thought that was really cool. Both of them inked by the phenomenal Terry Austin. Now, this is the Marvel team up. So yes, it is the Cloak and Dagger. And I think it's the first time the New Mutants have met Spider-Man too. So who are Cloak and Dagger? If you're not familiar with them, well, maybe you are. Maybe you've seen the Hulu show. Or maybe you played the, what was it, Maximum Carnage video game. Well, Cloak and Dagger are a couple of teens. It's Tyrone Johnson, so Ty Johnson, and Tandy Bowen. And they're runaways from different angles of being a runaway. One is because her mother doesn't pay enough attention to her. I think she was like a supermodel and rich. And the other one was because he comes from a broken home and his parents are just, his whole family's falling apart. I think he's from New York. I don't remember where she's from. Kansas, Ohio, maybe Kentucky, right? No, I would remember she's from Kentucky. But anyway, together, through a series of unfortunate events, they get kidnapped and they get taken advantage of. And scientific experiments are done with them on their bodies, along with a bunch of teens. And this is the guy that does the experiments, Simon Marshall. So all the teens die except for both of them. And both of them kind of mutate into Cloak and Dagger, right? Like he has the power of shadows, she has the power of light, and maybe that was Ben Urich. This right here is Marshall. I pointed at the wrong guy. Sorry, all guys with glasses look alike in comic books. But anyway, he can't sustain his life without her. Like, they feed off of each other. And actually, Silvermane, the Spider-Man villain, has something to do with their origin too. But that's practically it. They're runaways, and in their own ongoing series and the series, the miniseries, they both aren't really fighting supervillains. They're more fighting just things that are street alley crimes, like burglary or human trafficking or drugs. That's what they end up fighting. So that's what stood out about them that was different than pretty much every other superhero book at the time. Here's Rick Leonardi again. So the miniseries sold so well that Marvel decided to make their own ongoing series after this, of course, guest star. So here we have Bill Sienkiewicz, artwork on New Mutants for the first time in omnibus format. Damn, that is so awesome. I cannot wait to have the New Mutants omnibus. But it's not a New Mutants review. So these are the few issues that are collected in here. That guest star Cloak and Dagger. It's how the powers get switched. Sunspot and Wolfsbane get kidnapped and also get experimented on. Which takes us to this, the very first ongoing series. Look at the amount of detail. So, again, Bill Mantlo, Rick Leonardi, Terry Austin. The exact same team that did the miniseries is now working on the ongoing series. And let's just get to some of the fill-in. But then we have fill-in artists, and that's what I want to get to. Oh, yeah, the Secret Wars 2 crossover with the Beyonder. Look at that. Terry Austin, man. Such an amazing inker. That guy can make some damn fine art. We also have Mark Silvestri doing a fill-in spot, inked by, again, Terry Austin. But you can kind of tell it's Silvestri's art with his rough-looking faces that I love so much. And here is the Mike Mignola issue. Mike before Hellboy. This is before he blew up, before Gotham by Gaslight. This is Mike Mignola, inked by Terry Austin. So not that much use of shadows as you're probably used to, but I'm sure he loved drawing this character of Cloak. Here's their appearance in Doctor Strange. And yes, the issue that made me... I found this like for a quarter at a yard sale or something. And I asked if they had the rest. I came back to the house and asked if they had the rest because of this issue. Because I thought Arthur Adams had drawn the rest. And this issue is what got me intrigued in Cloak and Dagger to begin with. This is Arthur Adams, inked by Terry Austin. And again, Bill Mantlo writing it. Now, let's look here in the back, because I think, yeah, Brett Blevins ends up taking over the run. And, of course, the run, like I said, ends with issue 11. It becomes Strange Tales. And Brett Blevins now is inking his own artwork. And they put the Power Pack and Cloak and Dagger graphic novel back here. Yeah, Shelter from the Storm. So if you've seen my advanced overview of the Power Pack Omnibus, this is collected in there too. By the way, this volume has 880 pages. Let's look at some of the extras. So you have the Marvel Age number 6, which is an interview with Bill Mantlo. More character designs and sketches here. The back, like the origin of Cloak and Dagger is what he talks about, how he got the idea. Another interview with Bill Mantlo. Let's go a little... Oh, yes. I love pinups right here. So this is Cloak and Dagger Marvel Press Portfolio, Rick Leonardi. Of course, this is some of the stuff that they use for the covers. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. I remember reading an interview with Ed Hannigan, the co-creator of Cloak and Dagger, and he was kind of given free reign on Dagger. So he's the one that kind of invented that kind of ballerina pose whenever she uses her powers. And I'm sure you're familiar with whenever you see her use her powers. That right there. Thought that was pretty cool. Then you have, I'm not going to go through all the pages, but here's some of the Marvel Tales reprints. Reprinting issues of Peter Parker, of course. Spectacular Spider-Man. Original pages. There's your boy, Silvermane. Love extras here in the back. And the New Mutants covers without the lettering. Oh, to own that piece of artwork. Mike Mignola, inked by Terry Austin. Wow. All right, let's look at this binding. You could probably tell it's sewn binding, and there's that eye that makes the reading experience so much better. There's no gutter loss. The book lays over flat. I'm sure you could probably tell it stays open when I was going through the first few pages, and the back pages. Now, if you're interested in this book when it's available, check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. Now, that was the contents of the book, the build of the book, and the page count. Let me know in those comments down below if you've ever read Cloak and Dagger and you want to pick this up, if you have the trade paperbacks, if you have them in single issues, or if you're going in blind and have never heard of them and just enjoy the artwork, or have enjoyed Bill Mantlo's other works. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button if you have not subscribed. We put out videos every day. We can be found on Redbubble and on Patreon, and all of that information is in the description down below. More importantly, please everybody stay healthy, stay safe out there, and much love to you all.